Welcome everyone to the November 8th, 2021 All Hands with Harmony. I'll be your host for today. We got a couple of announcements. It's very welcoming. First of all, in no particular order, we have a new baby that's joined the community. Our little colleague Ganesh. A new baby arrived over the weekend. So if you guys haven't had a chance to congratulate him yet, please do. And another good news is I think we may have introduced him, but we haven't. Is Daniel is on the all hands call today. Hey Daniel, welcome to the team.
Thank you. Thanks everyone.
Hey Daniel, nice to meet you.
Same.
So are you in West Coast?
I'm West Coast, yeah, Portland.
Oh, cool.
Portland. Yeah, not too far away.
Hey,
Yeah,
let me, maybe I can say a couple of things about Daniel that he's probably too humble to say about. So we're super excited to have Daniel join. He will be focused on a number of things. One of the main things that he's going to be focused on is kind of help bring Harmony closer to the people. And so helping with these kind of in-person meetups across the world is going to be kind of pretty critical for us in our kind of journey to decentralization and being more community first. So that's one of the things. And part of that is also helping manage all of our digital channels and making sure that they're more integrated in terms of messaging, working with each of the moderators, and also managing them. And so we're excited for Daniel to join. He has a wealth of experience. A lot of it is in the last 10 years. He worked at a kind of I guess an integration company, right? Where he had multiple clients, like big name clients, where he helped to integrate software into their kind of in-house systems. And so he has a lot of kind of account management experience, but also super technical. And so we're excited to have you join, Daniel. Thank you.
Thanks for the introduction. Thank you.
Did I miss anything?
I'm super. No, that's a really good summary. Probably better than I would have done, to be honest. But yeah, it's pretty spot on, and I'm really excited to work with you guys. And over the past few days, I've taken some time to spend some one-on-one chats with a few members of the team, and I'll be reaching out to more people and just try to introduce myself in a more private chat and get to know you and see how I can help. And like Peter said, a good portion of my focus is going to be on community, and I'm already excited to tackle some of the stuff that's already on my plate, and more excited to see what's to come. So thanks.
Awesome. Thanks for the intro, Peter, and welcome again, Daniel.
Thank you.
All right, so on to the show. Let's go through the launches. So let me share my screen real quick. All right, so over here we have our weekly launch updates. And since Ganesh is not able to join us today, he's provided an offline update. So I'm just going to read it out from his update over here. It says, on the Btc Bridge Status, he has mentioned that we have deployed to mainnet and did an initial round of testing, identified some issues, and fixing them and improving them on mainnet. So while waiting for mainnet to go for its first public release, there'll be materials ready, such as blog posts, logos, PR for one BTC. And then there'll need to be a bit more campaigns to keep up keep the community up to date. Audit has begun and will be done in about 8 days from today. So it'll be perfectly timed with the second mainnet release next week. For the rest of the week, even though he's with the family and nurturing a newborn, he will be spending some time improving the vault and getting other clients ready for public participation. So we can open to public as soon as the Chainlink Oracle becomes publicly available. So yeah, other than that, it's just some bug works and improvements in the overall experience. Yuri, are you on a call? Any updates from Yuri or anybody else on the BTC Bridge?
Yeah. So Ganesh already has written about this in the main channel. I only want to add some details. So Bridge right now working on mainnet. You can try to test it. So we are fixing issues in real time. And right now we're planning to add one more vault. So, and also we will work on deploy checklist from Leo together with SOP. So, and also we will need many security things like OS configs for vault clients to load encrypted private keys for vaults and for layers. So we're planning to finish all this by Wednesday or Thursday. And after this, we can lock more BTC amount and maybe public with our partners, share this with our partners in the end of this week.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks for the update. And again, just to reiterate, this is a really much anticipated release, and we want to make sure that it's launched as carefully as possible. So we want to make sure the quality is there and we don't run into any issues. So we're going to take our time, the time needed to make sure that our deployments are working fine, and there's no issues with that.
So how is the audit process going? So we can only release 2 minutes after all the audit, right? Audit done.
Right. So that's what was updated by Ganesh. The audit is still in progress with, I believe it's with Slowmist for the next 8 days. That's when it's scheduled to be done. Cool. Thanks for the update, Yuri. Let's move on to the Chainlink update.
Actually, real quick question on the Bitcoin bridge before we move forward.
Sure.
If we have a second. I know that one of Ganesh's updates was that we're waiting for logos and PR graphics. Do we know if that's going to be shared internally before we make public announcements and start using them? Only reason why I'm asking is so that we can try to coordinate a little bit better with the social media channels in terms of our timing and having like a universal, or sorry, a uniform look across the board.
I don't think I have that answer, but if I were to imagine it, it will be something that we'll add into our repository. Actually, somebody in the community was asking, hey, is there a GitHub repo for all of our, logos and, brand assets and things like that? I thought that was a great idea to move it out of wherever we have it today. It could be like a shared drive or something to a GitHub repo so we can have it available publicly. I'll put a note down to follow on that.
Nice, cool, thank you.
No problem.
On like the marketing collateral for the BTC Bridge, I believe Give was working with Abi on that. So I've been kind of out of the loop on that one. And so we can check with Abi and Give, but Abi will help us kind of with the actual coordination and rollout of that. for that, like I've been helping on the back end, making sure that there's an actual use for one BTC. And so finding partners that are willing to kind of be the first cohort to accept one BTC for some kind of use on their protocol. So I can check with Abi on that one.
On to Chainlink.
So Chainlink, it is live on testnet, and we are actively inviting protocols for the private mainnet launch. And so that in this first cohort, we're anticipating maybe 5 to 10 or so protocols that are invite only, that Chainlink will personally onboard. And we're going to watch how things go for about a week, maybe 2 weeks. Depending on that, then we'll have the public mainnet launch. And so that's how Chainlink works. And so far, I need to get an update on the number in the cohort, but I believe there's 6 so far that are in the cohort. And so that's the update on that one. I am working with the Chainlink team now on marketing materials for the public mainnet promotion. And so we're going to work on that. They're going to write the blog post and also provide most of the assets. So we're covered there.
Very cool. Thanks, Peter. There's a couple of updates on One Wallet. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of the details. One of the exciting things that happened with One Wallet is an integration from a fiat on-ramp perspective. So there's a Twitter post on that. Does anyone here have anything additional to add? Maybe Leo or?
I don't have any update. I think Aaron is preparing a release of the One Wallet with additional features. I don't remember all the detail, but apparently the fiat ramp is one of the big features to support. So yeah, that's about One Wallet.
Oh yeah, I wonder whether it's because of the recent announcement from Binance about fiat on-ramp for ones.
It's a different gateway. I think we use something, we have a long-time relationship. I kind of forget the gateway. And the Binance definitely use their own gateway, right? It's a different gateway.
Makes sense. Cool. Next up, there's cross-chain NFTs and cross-chain APIs.
So for cross-chain NFT, so the bounty is already finished, and we have everything merged. So just pending to be released on Mainnet. So I'm gonna work on a Medium post to elaborate on the meaning and the usefulness of the cross-chain NFT bridge. So I need to work with Peter for the release. Basically, what Ganesh mentioned, we need to have, basically we need a Medium post to elaborate on why we need to do this, right? And what we provided. And once that's done, I think we're ready to get on Mainnet anytime in this week. So just pending the release by Ganesh and Yuri to release on our bridge. Yeah, I'll send the post to Peter to review it first. And then once Peter is okay, I think we can probably coordinate on the marketing effort and then make it live on Mainnet.
All right, very cool. Thank you. Boris, any updates on the cross-chain API?
Yes. Well, the app, it's, more advances of the app. I have screenshots. I would put them on Notion. There were some issues, and so we spent a lot of the time this week debugging, we couldn't deploy to AWS. Hopefully today or tomorrow will be fixed. We temporarily name it Endless Reach, but I'm open to ideas or suggestions. And it will have a GitHub repo soon.
Endless Bridge as in without an end, endless.
Yeah. There is another option. I thought Gravity Bridge, but I don't know. I am bad at naming, so I'm open to ideas. So
it's one of the toughest things to solve.
Yeah.
So are we still on schedule for November 15th? Actually,
yeah,
for both.
If we can debug everything this week and everything seems, we should be fine. Yes.
And then Leo, sorry, back to cross-chain NFT is still scheduled for November 15th. Is that still good?
Okay, 150 is good. Yeah, so I think 150 is this week. Yeah, so this will go to live on meeting this week.
Okay, thanks. I think Jenny already provided the update on the Btc Bridge, but any updates on Ethereum Bridge?
No news so far. I've done initial part of work, and now we have some issue deploying on testnet. So Ganesh is to do some extra preparation. So I'm just waiting.
Okay. Thanks. Next up, Fastsync. RJ?
For Fastsync, there are still some problems undiscovered on the local on the network that I set up. So yeah, I'm still a little bit concerned about the release date.
Okay. RJ, anything to add?
No, Jackie is fully owning the streaming sync.
Okay, thanks. Fixed income?
The migration of the contracts from ETH Anchor to Harmony is complete, and it's now called One Anchor. There is a set of contracts we have no control. There are the curve contracts. So I'm trying to deal with them to help me, because the pools have to be, the AUST pools have to run in curve until we can connect one hole. But one hole, I guess it will take more time, so I'm not sure. So I'm using curve in the meantime. We now have a repo for that. It's called One Anchor Contracts. And I already started working on the UI, even though I cannot do much until I figure out the pools. But I will push the UI as much as I can and keep pushing on the guys and Curve to see if they. What I need from them is the addresses of the contracts they deploy on Harmony. So because so we don't have to create new pools or anything. So yeah, that's it.
Okay, thanks, Boris. Yuri, anything on the recovery and the security for One Wallet? Unfortunately, Gift's got a doctor's appointment today, so.
No updates from my side. Maybe any news from GIF?
No, not at this time. So.
I see.
Okay, let's move on and maybe provide an offline update then. Cross-shot transaction.
So already approved and funded the grant for mutual knowledge system, and just send an email for ask for updates that I haven't received. But I think they should already start working on it. And the ETA for the initial design specification for the cross-shot transaction should be in 1 month. So you should still have an ETA of like early December.
Cool. Thanks, RJ. Decentralized nodes, Liu?
Okay. So I sent the proposal and also get some feedback from the community and also discussion with RJ. So the goal, we may change the scope of the goal and to implement each stage. So we probably won't fully decentralize everything in the beginning. So we'll start with a few shards or even just one shard, and that's I'm still working on that. So with the design of the allow list and how that works. So one thing like we probably gonna do is I was thinking, right? So I still need to discuss with RJ that we may still keep like a one node ourselves as a default leader and enable external nodes for the external leader. And that probably will be more prudent to implement at this stage. In terms of the voting power, since we currently have a administrator 106 limitation for the number of key providers, that's a little high if the validator use all the slot on one shard, may end up with dominate the or the voting power, and if the node is down, that may stop the consensus, right? So I'm thinking maybe you can implement limitation on the number of the slots at first as well, to limit to less than, for example, like 50 or something, so that we have some buffer if the node is down, and they won't take down the consensus. If we fully get all the 100% external node, the voting part to external node, that's something I'm thinking as a workaround to the solution, and also to keep the security in mind.
Right. So right now we're at 900 out of 1,000 that's already decentralized into the slots. Moving to 950 will be great. So very slow transition.
Yeah, the number of nodes is okay, but
also
the voting power, voting power is the key, right? Voting power is the key.
The voting power is the key.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And also, I've been working with our research DAO and ramping up like under knowledge about our protocol design and current stage of the mainnet and what's missing. And actually, they wrote a very comprehensive report about the current design and the current kind of missing pieces, and what's the kind of security implications of the current mainnet about decentralization and security, and what is the way to move forward. And that report is very academic and comprehensive. We should all look into it. That will guide how can we move forward with our development to the full digitalization, including the compatibility of the incentives and also the resharding design, about voting power, about how to avoid the civil attack of external validators, such as the current situation where any like large stakers can focus their stake on one shard. So there are a lot of things that we should look in, we should consider. Yeah, I can send the report around to the Eng channel.
Sure, and if we can share it or to the public, to the community, that would be great. Reddit or Twitter, if that's okay. Thanks, RJ. And thanks, Liu. Cool. The updates here. Polygon Bridge, no updates there as well. It's a bit further down, so it's Cosmos. Wallet features, we'll share that. Secure resharding.
That's basically kind of related.
Yeah.
But
right.
For this item, we're putting it on hold. We haven't started working on that. More on a design and basic design phase. We're still in the design phase.
Right. And then so is the 1 second finality, right?
Yeah, so 1 second finality. So we already have a couple, at least two significant protocol change, not like consensus change that will improve the finality, and that's being tested on testnet right now. And there are two other major pieces still to be implemented. One is the BLS library upgrade, and that is hitting some hurdle because the other library that's seemingly faster is not like easily compatible with our current setup. So that route we are putting on hold. Another things that we can implement is change the way the consensus leader collect the commit signatures. Right now is trying to collect all the signatures as many as possible within the same round. So he's trying to wait for another like extra 1 second to wait for the slow validators to submit the commit signature, but that's actually not necessary. For the protocol, for the BFT consensus, you only need 2/3 of the signature, right? To like have a unanimous agreement on the block. For the rest of the signature, is basically to, for the better kind of security of the chain, so that if there is really a problem, like the end of the world problem where there is a fork or anything, more signatures can help us guide to know which is the canonical chain, right? But that definitely the rest of signature is not necessary to form like agreement on a block. So the change is to not wait for 100% of the signature in the round. But only collect the 2/3 and then move forward. But for the rest of the signature, we're gonna put it in the next block so that it won't like delay the consensus time. But still you have the actual signature to help you guide which chains like stronger or more heavier chain with voting powers if there's really fork happen. But we don't expect fork to happen, but this is still something you want to have on the chain. Yeah, that's the thing I'm working on. I already started adding some block structure hard fork to include another field for the actual signature. But I think that full feature can be completed in 1 or 2 weeks, and then we can start testing on testnet.
That will be huge, huge savings, and that architecture actually exists in other chains. I sort of seen that before, and also plus the caching that you mentioned last week. Those two are going to be huge improvements.
We already have two like important change. Yeah, we'll see. That's also related to the mainnet kind of upgrade we're planning. So last week we hit the problem that the testnet have high memory usage issue or crashes because of the RPC upgrade. Actually, we figured out after some digging. So so Jackie, you had a bounty for the RPC upgrade to use Go JSON, right, for the library, and we asked the question why Ethereum doesn't upgrade that if it is just a pure performance gain. And it turned out that is causing problem of like node crashing out of memory issue. And we basically reverted that PR and the problem is solved.
Awesome, thanks. Next up, Decentralized Rpc. Quick update here is that we have stabilized with Pocket Networks last week to about 20%, 25%, 20% or equivalent to about 50 plus 60 million transactions per day. That's above and beyond what our initial target is of 25 million transactions per day. Initially thinking that was 25% of traffic, but our traffic is actually over 200 transactions per day instead of 100 transactions per day. We're also signing up with, we signed a contract with Covalent Networks So we're going to discuss with them tomorrow and get that started as well. So a few things going on the partnership side. On the internally hosted RPCs, we saw an issue just this morning, actually, thanks to a launch from a DeFi ecosystem that's similar to OWN. Because of that, we've got a lot of traffic that came in. The plan of approach to solve that is go multi-region. So I'll need to discuss with Leo and Soph about how that's going to happen. That's going to increase our cost footprint temporarily until everything is decentralized. So in terms of decentralized ops, we're looking to spin up an external team, and we've acquired and retained a recruiting agency to set up a search for the APAC region and Europe regions. So if anyone on the team and anyone listening to this all hands that knows of anyone in the DevOps community that would like to see how they can participate with Harmony, feel free to reach out to me. That's all I have. Very cool. Any general updates from anyone else?
Shall we hear something about the New York NFT event? Seems a lot of things happen.
Leo, you wanna, is Boris wasn't there? I know Leo.
Adrian is the man.
New York NFT met with a bunch of potential partners. Currently talking to them right now. Yeah, that's pretty much what I have for that. I mean, we played our commercial on Times Square, which was awesome, and I have a ton of content to sift through as far as that. We're also going to be doing a lot of the Lisbon videos coming up this week as well, and yeah, that's the update I have, pretty much.
So one thing I want to share in the event. So this year, the NFT.NYC event is the largest event in the past few years. So because we know this year is the year of NFT, and also the metaverse start to emerge as the next trend across not just the blockchain industry, across all the Web2 industry as well. So many projects and many artists working on the NFT and the metaverse. So I talked to a few artists and a partner. So they also showed a strong interest in working with the Harmony as a way to present the artwork. So one thing I particularly interest and also I want to drive the initiative is to enable the NFT support to everyone. It's not just on the art part. So I plan to launch a new initiative. It's called like NFT for kids or NFT. So that's the idea, was to build infrastructure and a foundation to encourage all the kids to keep learning the arts and learn NFT, and as a way to raise funds for the art program and also for school around the world. So I think that's I talked to a few artists and they are very excited about this idea. So Yeah, I'm still working on some of the planning stage, but I think something like we can start it to create this structure and the framework so that other organizations and people they can participate and to help the adoption of NFT, especially on Harmony, because we going to be the infrastructure to enable this movement, not going to be Ethereum, as Ethereum is not to be usable and available for everyone, right? So Harmony will be the infrastructure to enable this initiative. That's something I have that in mind, and I will start to lay out the framework and the plan. Yeah.
Pretty awesome. There's also a couple more events coming up. One in Portland and one in Miami. So yes, Rosa, she's grimacing.
Hello, how are you? I'm in Madrid, where I'm from here, and I haven't visited my family and all that. Tomorrow is my mom's birthday, but I haven't come here since February 2020. So as they are lifting the travel ban from Europe, I decided to jump for a week and work remote. So super happy here. But going back to Miami, I think Sam is in talks with the organization in order to get a lot of tickets for our community. It seems to be quite expensive, at least for a community or the way we understand things. So it's 400,000 tickets, $400 is each ticket. So they are going to let us buy them at $150. And the idea is to buy a significant number of tickets and try to do the same we did with New York with the NFT event. So have scholarships for our community that include some amount of money plus the ticket, so they don't have to buy it and gather together. I'm working with Nura in order to talk about the booth. We have to cancel today one of the meetings, but the idea was to shape what it's going to happen while we are inside DeFi. And the day before, I already have a budget that is approved. I just have to confirm to do a gathering. The same we did in New York with the happy hour the day before Messari started, but for our people. So this is so far how the Miami event is.
Rosa, by the way, when is the event?
It's the last week of, November. And it's gonna be super packed because there are like 3 events going at the same time. I think the one we are is the most serious and maybe less fun, but more oriented to developers and less, in Miami, sometimes it's difficult to discern between what's legit and what's just, shiny neon Lambos and all that. So ours is good, but there are going to be many things going on like fireworks and whatever. And I think it's important, the focus we are putting into NFTs during that week, not just DeFi, because 3 days later is Art Basel. And Art Basel is the #1 modern art event in the US. And mostly there's 2 Art Basel, one in Switzerland every year and one in Miami every year. So the collision between the old art world plus the NFT community is going to happen just 2 days after our event. So there's going to be a lot of conversations and a lot of movement around that.
Very cool. We will have a lot of tickets, and for the booth, I think 10 to begin with, and we're buying a few more. So yeah, so most of the tickets will be going to the community because we will have 4 teams that will be demonstrating their wares inside our booth. So how many, the team itself will be like sort of supporting cast, whereas the teams in the community are actually the one demoing a lot of products. So I think this is the first time we're doing this. It's going to be very different and very involved on the community side. So at least 2 or 3 members from each one of the 4 teams will be here, will be there. Yeah. Cool. And then there's a Portland one that's showing up. I think Daniel just got looped in on that. I'm not sure how that's going to look like, but I think Daniel knows that spot.
Yeah, I'm about 15 minutes away from there.
Very cool. If anybody want to join that one, yeah, feel free to reach out to Daniel and we can arrange that. Cool. All right. Anything else? If not,
when is that Portland? When is the Portland event?
Daniel, can you remind us when that event is?
December 16th. Pretty sure it's December 16th.
Right. Is it more of a hackathon or?
I believe so. I need to look into it more, but I'm pretty sure it's yeah, December 16th, Thursday, December 16th.
Right. It's more of a hackathon.
It's a hackathon, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Carve out some time. If you can carve out some time, represent Harmony.
Sounds good.
All right. Is there anything to bring up?
I don't have anything. I'm just taking notes right now for Sam. He says he's on an airplane, so.
That's right. Okay, cool. I think that's it for today's All Hands. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.